I am excited to finally share this video with you. So, you may be confused seeing a 20-minute video with a simplified tag. Don't be. Just to set your expectations clearly, this video has a lot of substance in it. In this video, I am going to cover almost every aspect of project management, be it project lifecycle, process groups, knowledge areas, WBS, scheduling, cost, etc. So, it's basically a 3-hour course condensed into 20 minutes. So, my mission with this mini course is to make project management very easy to understand for you. Essentially, project management is fun, but more importantly, it is very easy. Project management is a complementary discipline that helps you run your projects very easily. And the best part is pretty much all professionals, be it an accountant or a chemist, can benefit from it. So, who is this video for? This video is for you if you want to learn how to manage your projects at work. So, it's applicable to every single professional I can think of. I have never seen any professional who hasn't run a project. It just so happens that sometimes they don't know they are managing projects. So, if you are looking for a simple enough framework to understand project management and implement that at work, then you are in the right place. By the end of this video, I am confident that you'll be able to add project management as a skill to your resume. So, let's get started. What is a project? A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. It has a defined beginning and end, and it's different from ongoing operations. Projects can range from simple tasks like painting a room to complex undertakings like building a skyscraper or developing a new software application. There are several types of project management. Let's talk about some of the popular project management methodologies you might encounter. Waterfall is our classic, step-by-step approach. Imagine building a house. You finish one phase completely before moving on to the next. It's great when you know exactly what you need from the start, like construction or big software projects. Agile is all about being flexible and working in short bursts called sprints. It's super collaborative and focuses heavily on client feedback, so it's perfect for projects where things might change, like software development or marketing campaigns. There are cool frameworks within Agile, like Scrum, which uses short meetings and focuses on quick iterations, and Kanban, where you visualize tasks on a board to keep things flowing smoothly. Then we have Lean, which is all about cutting out waste to maximize value. It's really focused on improving processes continuously. Think manufacturing. Critical Path Method, CPM, helps you figure out the most important tasks that will keep your project on track. If you know what needs to happen first, you can manage your time and resources better. It is great for construction or complex projects. Prince 2 is a more structured methodology that lays out clear roles and responsibilities. It's especially useful for ensuring projects have a solid business reason behind them, like government or large IT projects. When choosing a methodology, think about your project size, how complex it is, and what your organization prefers. Now, before I go further and dive deep, you need to understand something crucial. To run any project, you need two methodologies. The first one is a project lifecycle, and the second one is a project management process. So, take a deep breath and start. Let's start with the project lifecycle. The project lifecycle is the sequence of phases that a project goes through from its initiation to its closure. It provides a framework for managing projects effectively by breaking them down into manageable stages. Think of it like this. A human development is a project. So, your life cycle is first, conceiving, second, birth, third, childhood, fourth, teenage, fifth, adulthood, and the final stage is death. Like this, The project life cycle has also 5 phases: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, controlling, and the final stage is closure. The initiation phase of a project involves the overall conception and high-level definition of the project, which includes identifying the need or opportunity, setting project objectives and scope, conducting a feasibility study, developing a project charter or initial plan, and securing initial funding and resources. In the planning phase of a project, a comprehensive project plan is developed that includes timelines, budgets, and resource allocation, while also defining tasks and their dependencies. This phase involves creating a work breakdown structure, or WBS, identifying and assessing potential risks, and establishing effective communication and stakeholder management plans to ensure the project's success. The execution phase of a project involves carrying out the actual work by managing resources and teams, executing tasks as outlined in the project plan, maintaining communication with stakeholders, and addressing any changes or issues that arise during the process. The monitoring and controlling phase occurs simultaneously with project execution and is essential for keeping the project aligned with its objectives. It involves tracking progress against the project plan, overseeing the budget and schedule, managing risks and issues, and reporting on overall project performance to ensure successful outcomes. The closure phase marks the formal conclusion of a project and involves several key activities, including delivering the final product or service, conducting a post-project review, documenting lessons learned, releasing resources, and officially closing the project. Understanding the project life cycle enables project managers and teams to effectively organize and manage their work, track progress, identify potential issues early, ensure timely and budget-compliant project completion, and deliver successful outcomes. I hope you understand the project life cycle very well. Before I start the next part, I want to discuss a little about the project manager. A project manager is a professional responsible for leading a project from its initiation to its closure. The key responsibilities of a project manager are the same as the project lifecycle, which is initiating, planning, executing, controlling, monitoring, and finally closing the project. To be a project manager, you need to be a good leader, communicate well, stay organized, and manage your time effectively, solve problems, handle risks, and negotiate successfully. If you have these qualities, congratulations, you're eligible. So now let's move to the project management process. First, divide the whole process into some process groups. Like the project lifecycle, there are also 5 groups or phases. Suppose I am a project manager and my project is to build a skyscraper. For the initiation process group, I have 2 important processes. First, develop a project charter, and second is to identify stakeholders. Developing a project charter is like mini project planning. It's a clarification of why you're doing this. It includes deciding and noting down project scope and objectives, a rough idea for the cost and time, key stakeholders, and opportunities. In this stage, you don't have to document these things in detail. After developing the charter, that is sent for approval to the higher authority. After their approval, the next step will be performed. Next, identify who are the stakeholders in this project. In my case, I want to build a skyscraper in a location. So, my stakeholders should be the sponsors of this project, neighbors of that land, who will be disturbed all the time due to a lot of noise, engineers, and workers associated with this project. You may get confused that sometimes I use the term I and sometimes I use the term you. Don't get confused, I'm referring to you as a future project manager. Now it's time to plan the project. Planning is a lot more detailed and comprehensive than initiation. Planning is basically finding the answers to 3 questions. First, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? and how much time does it need? At the end of the planning process, you'll end up with a comprehensive project plan. This project plan will also include a few items, like requirements, scope, and a work breakdown structure, or WBS. You need to set up a one-on-one meeting or a video conference with stakeholders for requirements and for the scope. You can check out the project charter. When you are doing your scope statement, please bear in mind that what you put in there you'll be responsible for executing. So, try not to go overboard. You shouldn't include anything that is open to interpretation. The more specific you get, the better it is. Okay, since we already have the scope statement, let's move on with the work breakdown structure then. Work breakdown structure is basically a way of breaking down a complex project into smaller, more manageable pieces. You basically just decompose your deliverables. In my case, I will break the entire project into pieces like design and engineering, site preparation and foundation, superstructure construction, building envelope, interior fit-out, MEP systems installation, commissioning and testing, and project closeout. These are basically the outlines of WBS. If I dive deep into each piece, I can divide it into more manageable pieces. For example, if we break down the design and engineering part, we get conceptual design, schematic design, foundation design, superstructure design, wind and seismic analysis, HVAC system design, electrical system design, plumbing and fire protection design, site grading and drainage, and utilities connections. Like this, if I started breaking all the pieces, this video would be long and boring. Keep an important thing in mind. When you are breaking the whole project into some manageable pieces, estimate how much time and cost are needed in each step. So, you have a rough idea about how much cost and time are needed to complete the whole project. We need to determine not only the cost and time, but also how many resources, materials, and manpower are needed at each step. Planning means not only just developing a WBS and estimating manpower and budget, but also identifying and analyzing potential risks and making strategies to tackle them. Basically, I took the example of building a skyscraper because this is one of the biggest projects that exists, so you can get a clearer picture and implement this in smaller projects too. Before I proceed further, please subscribe to my channel. It's free like this mini course. So, we have done all the planning, and now it's time for execution. Before I start explaining execution, pause this video, take a break, and have some coffee. So, as now your break is over, let's continue. Execution basically means carrying out the work defined in the project plan. This phrase starts with hiring human resources and dealing with construction companies for materials. If I consider my project, I should first hire engineers, workers, and architects, then form them into multiple groups and select the leader of each group. That's the initial steps of this phrase. When the work starts, keep stakeholders informed of the project's progress and any issues that arise. Note any changes if required, and approve those changes to the project after discussing them with a specialist. Not only that, but keep your team motivated and focused to execute the task in time. So, the work has started. Now you just have to monitor the entire work. Now as a project manager, your responsibility increases because you have to track actual progress against the project plan using metrics like schedule variance, cost variance, and earned value. Not only that, but in this phase you have to allocate resources efficiently, keeping an eye on the budget to keep the flow of the project. In this phase, you may have to do some cost cutting and allocate the budget to the department in need. Suppose I do some cost cutting in building materials and allocate that budget to the electronics and interior department. When work starts at its full potential, monitor the project schedule and take corrective actions to address any delays. Every project has its own risks. With every step, some issues must arise. If not, then you're lucky. Project management is not about luck. It's about hard work and risk management. You should always have a plan to identify and eliminate the potential risks. Talking about risks, there are so many types of risks. In different fields, there are so many different types of risks. Construction projects have potential risks like cost overruns, funding issues, market fluctuations, schedule delays, site accidents, technical challenges, weather conditions, etc. IT projects consist of some major risks like technological obsolescence, security vulnerabilities, budget overruns, schedule delays, integration issues, etc. As you can see, every project faces some issues, at least once. So, as a project manager, you have to be prepared for every type of challenge. Your project has been completed. Wait, darling, I'm not finished yet. After monitoring and controlling, the fifth phase begins, which is project closure. In this phase, some key responsibilities should be done, like arrange a meeting or presentation to showcase the completed work to the client or sponsor. This is an opportunity to highlight key features, functionalities, and any other relevant aspects. After that, prepare the formal acceptance documentation, often called a sign-off document. This document should outline the deliverables and acceptance criteria. Then request the sponsor to review and sign the acceptance document. This serves as an official record that they acknowledge the completion of the project deliverables. No one wants problems in the future. That's why formal acceptance is essential, because it minimizes disputes later, provides legal protection, and serves as a foundation for future work or contracts. When it comes to project management, the main goal is really about delivering the project successfully while sticking to certain limits. Let me break down the key objectives for you. Scope management. First of all, it's crucial to clearly define project boundaries. This helps avoid scope creep when the project starts expanding beyond what was originally planned. We also need to make sure we deliver everything we promised. Time management. Meeting deadlines is essential. We want to complete the project on time, so developing a realistic schedule that considers all tasks and resources is key. Cost management. Staying within budget is another big one. We need to control expenses and create an accurate budget from the start, keeping track of costs throughout the project. Quality management. It's important that the deliverables meet the expected quality standards. We should have processes in place to monitor this and ensure everything meets our stakeholders' expectations. Risk management. Identifying potential risks early on is crucial. We should have strategies ready to minimize any negative impacts and develop contingency plans for unexpected issues. Stakeholder management. We have to keep all stakeholders satisfied: clients, team members, management, and vendors. Open and transparent communication throughout the project is vital to meet their needs and expectations. Resource management. Finally, we need to use our resources efficiently. This means optimizing how we use people, equipment, and materials, and making sure we assign the right resources to the right tasks at the right time. So, in a nutshell, the main goal of project management is to deliver a successful project that meets its objectives and satisfies everyone involved. We want to achieve this while keeping within the constraints of scope, time, cost, and quality. By focusing on these areas, project managers can really boost the chances of success and contribute positively to their organizations. Congratulations! You just completed my mini course on project management. Thanks for being with me the past 30 minutes. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you did, please share it with your friends and professional network in LinkedIn. See you in my next lesson.